All right, guys, we did it. We made it to Anvil and Forge. Welcome, everybody. My name is Rocky. This is Thirsty Thursdays, our second to last episode for the first season. And I got to say, it's been super, super fun, educational. We are here with Mike, who is one of the owners of this awesome brewery, Anvil and Forge, right downtown Springfield. Mike, how you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing well.
The space is awesome. It's really incredible, and you have a great location downtown. I want to hear kind of the beginning. How did Anvil and Forge come to be?
Brother and I started home brewing in Bloomington, Indiana, around 2009. We had some fun. We hit our first beer, and I almost akin it to like something in sports where you get lucky, it feels great. And then we brewed our second beer, and it was just giant hot garbage. So then from there, we really tried to continue and just having fun, like doing the home brewing and stuff like that. 3 or 4 years later, he had worked at another local brewery here in town, seen pretty good success there with the beers he was making for him. I was down at school one day, and I got a call from my brother, and he was like, "Hey, you want to start a brewery and distillery?"
And life all of a sudden has meaning.
and I literally just said, let's do it.
That is awesome, man. That is awesome. I love the names of breweries. Where did Anvil and Forge come from?
I can tell the elaborative, fun story to that, and then I'll tell you the real reason. Anvil and Forge is very evocative of blacksmithing, which is the ultimate form of taking a raw material and literally just heating it and beating it into something that is completely different from the way it started. That is what brewing is too. We take a bunch of raw ingredients, go through many different processes. So we go from raw grain to all the way through to a finished beer, in a can.
Yeah.
And
that's art, by the way. I mean, the beer and the can and all of your designs, I mean, it's beautiful.
There's so many different facets to making the production of something that goes, from that to something that's a finished product inside of a store. So that is like kind of what we really thought of when we were doing the name. The real reason is it's the only one we could all agree on. So it is what it is. I don't even remember who came up with it, but when they said it, we were like, that's it.
It's kind of an industrial feel in here, I feel, and which goes well with the name, Anvil and Forge. Who came up with your logo?
Our logo was actually Brian McCormick at Redbird Tattoo. Him and I worked together for a little while, and I just kind of gave him some basic, kind of plot points on what I wanted, and he came back with, just something incredible. Our big sign here was then cut out by another small local business person, and it was JJ Corradano, Rich Core Designs, and it made it come to life on the wall right over there.
Shout out to local businesses helping local businesses. I heard once a rising tide lifts all boats?
Floats all boats.
Floats all boats, whatever.
Same difference. I think Josh over
he's got it.
Bomb Brewing. I think that's what he was saying.
Let's talk beer.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things. So you have how many on tap usually?
Generally, we have around 15 to 16 beers on tap coming off of holidays and stuff. Sometimes it's a little lower. We just get hit really hard. But yeah, generally right around 15 to 16 plus a couple or 3 ciders. Do
you do small batches and kind of rotate those frequently, do you have a say? Because I know your. What is that one?
We've got the
Wolfsbane.
Great Tart here.
That one cheers. Wolfsbane, I always see you guys usually have that one out. I don't think I've ever been here and it hasn't been there. But this one, Cannibal Cupcake, it's either newer or a smaller
Cannibal
batch?
Cupcake is actually the only canned beer that's one of our seasonals, really. We have another seasonal that is actually a beer for charity. That supports, women in the sciences.
Oh, you guys rock! Thank you.
So we, any of our other beers that we have in cans, we generally try to keep as kind of our foundational beers, so that way we can always kind of have them out in the community and allow people to come and grab them or get them out to stores and allow people to grab them there.
What stores in the local area can people go and get?
The major ones would be the Harvest Market, Benny's, kind of same deal. Hy-Vee, we're in all sorts of different places, yeah.
So I'm looking at this Cannibal Cupcake. It looks like Three Twigs Bakery. That's a local business.
Well, yep. So Three Twigs, they're friends of ours, and I called Emily, one of the owners of Three Twigs, up, and I was like, hey, is there any way you could make me 30 dozen cupcakes? And she was like, yeah, what are you doing with them? And so they've always been very supportive.
Are you a big part of the brew process?
I'm one of the brewers.
You're one of the brewers?
Yeah, so my brother John and I brew.
Are there any obstacles that you didn't kind of think that were going to be there, and like stuff like that?
What's interesting is, from brewing on our smaller pilot 1-barrel system to brewing a double batch on our larger 15-barrel system, there's not a whole lot of differences other than a little few idiosyncrasies between, like, by using like larger tank vessels, so like heating stuff, that kind of stuff is a little bit different to work with. Other than that, it's the same exact process. It takes the same exact amount of time. It is, like, honestly, from our big system to our small system, our smaller system is actually more physically demanding to brew on.
See, it's a circle of hops. The circle of hops. I love it, man. What kind of beer do you usually technically go for, or do you like to go for yourself?
So, I'm a big dark beer and sours fan.
Sours are the only one that I can't really go for, and I don't know why.
Everyone's tasters are different. One of my favorite things about, like, if I'm bartending or just hanging out and talking to people that are out in the tap room and stuff, one of my favorite things is to sort of like challenge them a little bit and be like, hey, why don't you try this? And I'll slide them a sample of one of the beers that they're like, oh, I don't know if I'd ever like that. And one of my favorite things is when you get them to try something and they end up, their eyes kind of like widen and they're like, whoa, this is really good. It's just that's a really fun thing to be able to do, and like, so I love trying things that people have made, whether it's food or beer or whatever. And so it's just something that I love doing and I love sharing with people.
I love the collaboration you do with everybody around you. You were talking about food. I like beer and I like pizza. Good thing you can come to Anvil and Forge, and now you can have beer and pizza. Tell us about Foundry Pizza and everything that's going on there.
The Foundry Pizza Kitchen just opened inside the Anvil and Forge tap room. They're on their own thing, but we've partnered up with them, and they have brought a whole different element to the tap room, which is food. Started talking with Chef Nathan Peak from, he's one of the minds behind Biscuits and Brunch.
I love Biscuits and Brunch.
Yep. Okay. And so he's got skills in the kitchen for sure. Some of my favorites are like, the cheese yes please, which has like goat cheese.
8,000 different cheeses on it.
A massive amount of cheese. It's like our house cheese blend, goat cheese, smoked Gouda. He tops it with Parmesan, and then our house hot honey that he makes from scratch. Everything in the kitchen, down to the bread for the croutons that he hand toasts, are made in the kitchen. Another one is our apple prosciutto, which is smoked Gouda, Granny Smith apple slices, a couple other things on there. He bakes that all off with the prosciutto and everything, gets it real crispy, pulls it out, and then he tosses some arugula in our house goat cheese vinaigrette, and tosses that arugula with that arugula salad on top of the pizza, and it is mind-blowing.
Now, you said, too, they use some of the beer in the pizza sometimes?
One of the things that we talked about with Chef Nathan was, hey, we want to try to incorporate, the beer as much as possible into the food. And the response was like, well, yeah, of course.
Great beer, great pizza. It's a combination that you can't mess with. Is there anything else?
Our distilling portion of the business will actually be opening up sometime this year. We have a still that's been in the back, waiting to start since we've opened, but with some laws that we weren't allowed to have.
Right.
Both of the licenses at the same time and do some other stuff. Now that we have that all settled out, start getting some spirits out to you guys too.
I'm excited for this, man. There's a lot of really good stuff coming from Anvil and Forge down the pike.
We're working on an event space next door that will will both have a stage, so like if we have any kind of ticketed events or anything like that comes through, bands will be able to play on that side now, so it won't be as loud in the tap room. If you're looking for more of a chill evening, you have kind of both options. It'll also be, a private renting room for people that want to have like mid-sized parties, stuff like that.
That's awesome. Well, it gives you all a reason to follow along with what Anvil and Forge has going on here. Mike, tell them where they can do that. Facebook, numbers, all that.
We're on Facebook, Anvil and Forge Brewing. Same thing for Instagram. You can call in, order pizza, take it to go. Look us up. All that information is on those two things, or Google us. Check out the menu. We have a live beer menu on our website, as well as the Foundry Pizza Kitchen's menu is on there too. If you guys want to come in, check it out, and hang out, that's cool. If you want to come in and grab a pizza and a 4-pack to go, even better.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Anvil and Forge, you have to get down to Springfield now.